What if I told you that the quest for finding your purpose is actually holding you back? Yeah, you heard that right. We've all been fed this idea that purpose is this grand, elusive thing we need to discover or unlock. But let's get real for a second. How many of you have spent years trying to figure it out, only to feel more lost? It's time to shift the narrative. In this video, we're ditching the fantasy of some perfect, predestined purpose, and instead, I'm going to show you how to actually create your purpose through the power of pragmatic action. This isn't about waiting for the stars to align or hoping you'll stumble upon a magical revelation. This is about taking real, actionable steps that lead to real, tangible fulfillment. So, if you're tired of the endless soul-searching that leads to more confusion, stick around, because I'm about to give you the exact tools to make your purpose something you can build, not just dream about. Keep watching, because the solution is a lot simpler than you think. Number 1. The purpose-driven trial and error. Have you ever found yourself stuck in the cycle of overthinking your purpose? Wondering if you're doing the right thing, questioning your next move, or even thinking, what if I'm just missing it? Yeah, we've all been there. It's exhausting, right? Searching for that magical aha moment, hoping for a clear sign, but it never quite arrives. Well, here's something that might surprise you. What if I told you that the best way to find your purpose isn't through deep reflection or soul-searching, but through trial and error? Yes, trust me on this one. You see, the typical advice we hear about finding our purpose often sounds like a personal mission to reach enlightenment. But let's be real for a second. It doesn't always work that way. We get caught up in the idea that there's this perfect, one-size-fits-all path waiting for us to find, and it's simply not true. We often get stuck in our heads, trying to figure out what our life should look like instead of experimenting with what it could look like. And here's the kicker. Purpose often reveals itself through doing, not just thinking. So here's the twist. The purpose-driven trial and error method is all about embracing action. It's not waiting for the perfect moment or trying to uncover some grand revelation about who you are. It's about diving in, trying different things, and learning as you go. Why does this work? Simple. Each step, even if it's a failure, gives you insight into what resonates with you and what doesn't. It's like trying on shoes until you find the perfect fit. You won't know until you step into them and walk around a bit. I remember when I first started experimenting with different projects in my life. I tried everything from freelance writing to event planning to even starting a tiny food blog on the side. None of them felt like the one at first. And let me tell you, some of those projects flopped hard. I felt like a failure at times, wondering if I was doing it all wrong. But the more I tried, the clearer things became. With every failure, I gained new skills, new insights, and most importantly, new perspectives on what I actually enjoyed. Eventually, I stumbled upon the path that felt right, one that I could have never discovered if I stayed in the comfort zone of waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect idea to appear. Now, this method might not sound glamorous, and I get it. Who wants to fail over and over? But here's the thing. Every time you try something new, you're actually moving closer to understanding who you are and what fuels you. The trial and error isn't a sign of weakness. It's proof of resilience, curiosity, and adaptability. You get to reclaim control, testing different routes until one resonates with your values and passions. This is about reclaiming your space, your peace, and your dignity. It's about giving yourself permission to try, fail, adjust, and repeat. The journey may not look as polished as you imagined, but the growth you'll experience along the way is invaluable. You don't have to wait for permission or a spark of divine insight. Just start moving, try things, and let your actions guide you to your purpose. When you take that first step, you're already on the path. And remember, every misstep is just one step closer to finding your true direction. So, what's stopping you? Try something new today, no matter how small. Your purpose isn't waiting for you to find it. It's waiting for you to create it. Your space, your peace, and your dignity are in your hands. Now go out and live it. Number 2, purpose through problem solving. You know that feeling when you're just going through the motions, stuck in the routine, and wondering if there's more to life than just getting by. Yeah, we've all been there. You might be thinking, I want to find my purpose, but I don't even know where to start. Well, what if I told you that the secret to finding your purpose isn't through some deep, mystical journey, but through solving real-world problems? Stick with me. I promise it's not as boring as it sounds. We all have those moments where we're faced with a problem, whether it's in our career, relationships, or just the daily grind of life, and we find ourselves asking, why is this happening? You know the type: work drama, a tough situation with a friend, or just feeling stuck in a place you don't want to be. It's frustrating, isn't it? But here's the twist. What if you could turn those problems into opportunities to discover your purpose? Yeah, instead of running from them, you embrace them and use them to grow. I know it sounds a little crazy, but hear me out. The strategy here is pretty simple. Instead of focusing all your energy on what's wrong or what's not working, focus on the problem itself. Break it down, think creatively, and find a solution. Why? Because solving problems requires you to tap into your skills, passions, and values. When you take the time to really dive into a challenge, you discover what you care about, what excites you, and what drives you forward. You start to realize, hey, I can actually make a difference here, and that feeling, that's purpose starting to show up in your life. I'll give you an example from my own life. A few years ago, I was struggling with feeling disconnected from the work I was doing. I was editing videos all day, but it felt like I was just checking off boxes without really caring about the projects. One day, a client came to me with a complex request. They wanted a video that helped kids learn a difficult concept in a fun and engaging way. Normally, I would have just gone through the motions, but this time I saw it as a challenge. How could I make this interesting? How could I bring something fresh to the table? As I worked on the project, I realized how much I enjoyed the creative process of breaking down complex ideas and presenting them in an easy-to-understand way. That problem, turning a dry topic into an engaging video, sparked something in me. It was a wake-up call to what I really enjoyed and where my true passion lay. Now, I'm not saying every problem you encounter will give you this aha moment, but this approach does two things. It shifts your mindset and forces you to think differently. Instead of focusing on the negative, you start using challenges as opportunities for growth. You stop thinking of yourself as stuck or helpless and start seeing yourself as someone who can tackle anything, which in turn builds confidence and self-awareness. This is about reclaiming your space, your peace, and your dignity. When you solve problems, you step into your power. You're not just surviving, you're actively creating solutions, making progress, and most importantly, learning more about yourself along the way. So the next time you're facing a challenge, don't avoid it. Don't shy away from it. Step into it. Lean into the problem and see what you can learn from it. That's where your purpose is hiding, just waiting for you to find it. So here's the takeaway. The problems you face today, they're not just obstacles, they're stepping stones toward discovering what you're truly meant to do. Your space, your peace, and your dignity are all waiting for you on the other side of problem solving. Take action, find solutions, and most importantly, find your purpose. Number 3, the 30-day purpose hack. What if I told you that in just 30 days, you could start to uncover your purpose. No, this isn't some self-help gimmick. It's a real, actionable strategy that could help you break free from that stuck feeling we all get. You might be thinking, 30 days? That's a whole month. How is that even possible? Well, hear me out, because this might be the easiest, most direct way to give yourself a purpose reset. And trust me, it's not as hard as it sounds. We've all been there. The endless cycle of wondering what our next move is, questioning if we're in the right job, the right relationship, or even the right mindset. Maybe you're trying to figure out what you really want to do with your life, but every path seems blurry or overwhelming. We get so caught up in thinking about our big purpose that it becomes this unachievable mountain to climb. But what if, instead of waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect revelation, you took a small action every single day? That's where the 30-day purpose hack comes in. The idea is simple. For 30 days, commit to something different. It doesn't have to be life-altering, it just needs to be a tiny shift. It could be anything, a new hobby, a challenging workout, or even reading a chapter from a book you've been meaning to get into. The key is consistency. Each day you push yourself to do something new or different. Over time, those small actions build up and start to reveal something much bigger: what you enjoy, what excites you, what makes you feel alive in ways you didn't expect. The idea is that purpose doesn't just come from thinking, it comes from doing. Now, I know this might sound like just another try something new challenge, but here's the twist. The real power comes in doing it every day. No excuses. You're not giving yourself the chance to overthink it, to second guess, or talk yourself out of it. Instead, you're creating momentum. A perfect example. A few months ago, I was in a bit of a rut. Work was draining, and I felt like I was just going through the motions. I knew something needed to change, but I didn't know where to start. So I decided to do a 30-day challenge. I set a goal to try something new each day. On day 1, I tried writing a blog post. Day 2, I did a deep clean of my workspace. Day 3, I signed up for a new online class. Some days were small shifts, others were bigger, but the point was I was showing up every day. By day 30, I realized that my purpose wasn't some abstract idea. It was hiding in these daily actions. The challenge opened up creative outlets and personal growth that I didn't even know I was missing. The beauty of this approach is that it takes the pressure off finding your purpose all at once. Instead of a huge life-altering decision, you're learning about yourself bit by bit through small, intentional actions. And you'd be amazed at how much you can uncover when you stop overthinking and just do. This is about reclaiming your space, your peace, and your dignity. When you commit to showing up every day, you're telling yourself that you're worth the effort. No more waiting for some external sign or perfect opportunity. You create your purpose by taking consistent action, by making each day count. And trust me, when you start seeing the results of those small actions, it will feel like a ripple of empowerment. So, here's the bottom line. You don't need to wait for a huge epiphany or a life-changing event to find your purpose. Just start with 30 days. Give yourself the space to explore, learn, and grow, and watch how it all starts to unfold. Your space, your peace, and your dignity are waiting for you, right on the other side of showing up. Number 4, unconventional mentorship. What if I told you that the best mentor you could have might not even look like a mentor at all? You might be thinking, wait, isn't mentorship all about someone with years of experience guiding you? Yes, it can be. But what if I told you there's a whole new way to approach mentorship, one that doesn't involve traditional hierarchies or the usual one-on-one conversations? Stick with me, because this might just change how you think about learning and growing. We've all had that moment when we're stuck, frustrated, and searching for someone to give us the answers. You know the type. You're trying to figure out how to level up in your career or life, but you can't find someone with the right advice or experience. You ask for guidance, but it feels like everyone either has too much on their plate or is just giving you the same generic answers. We've all been there, right? You start wondering if you're on the wrong path because no one seems to understand your situation. Now, here's the twist. What if your best mentor isn't a person at all? What if it's something much more unconventional, like a community, a book, or even an experience that challenges you? This idea flips traditional mentorship on its head. Instead of waiting for that perfect person to come along with all the answers, why not start looking for mentorship in the things around you? A community that inspires you, a book that gives you new perspectives, or an experience that forces you to adapt and grow. These can all be powerful forms of mentorship. Let me give you an example. A while ago, I was really struggling with creativity. I was feeling burnt out and unsure of where to go next. I didn't have a personal mentor at the time, but I kept hearing about this one creative community that really seemed to push people to be their best. So I decided to dive in. Instead of waiting for some one-on-one advice, I started observing what other people in the community were doing, how they handled challenges, and how they gave and received feedback. I learned more in a few weeks from watching and participating than I ever did from traditional mentorship programs. The key was in the diversity of ideas and experiences around me. It wasn't just one person telling me what to do. It was a whole ecosystem of knowledge that I got to tap into. This approach to mentorship is all about taking responsibility for your own learning. It's about finding your own mentors in unexpected places. And it's about understanding that growth doesn't always come from the most obvious sources. Yes, it's easier to just have one person tell you exactly what to do. But when you open up to a variety of influences, whether they're communities, books, or experiences, you learn to think for yourself, problem solve, and take ownership of your journey. This is about reclaiming your space, your peace, and your dignity. When you open yourself up to unconventional mentorship, you stop waiting for someone to hand you the answers. You become the person who is actively shaping your own success. It's a way of saying, I don't need to follow a traditional path, I'm making my own. And that, my friend, is where real growth happens. So here's the takeaway. Mentorship doesn't always have to come from a single source. Your space, your peace, and your dignity are found in the people, books, and experiences around you. So stop waiting for a mentor to show up. Seek out the things that will truly push you and watch how your journey evolves in the most unexpected ways. Number 5, daily discomfort as a compass. What if I told you that your daily discomfort is actually guiding you to exactly where you need to be? Now, I know that sounds like the kind of advice people throw around when they're trying to make you feel better in the moment. But trust me on this. Embracing discomfort is not just some motivational quote you slap on your Instagram story. It's a powerful tool that can lead to real growth. You know the type. You're stuck in your routine, feeling that gnawing sense of unease. Maybe it's the job you hate, or the unhealthy habits you've fallen into, or even a relationship that's no longer serving you. We've all been there, right? That subtle discomfort that just keeps poking at you, telling you something isn't quite right, but you're not sure what to do about it. The thing is, we often try to numb or avoid that discomfort. We distract ourselves with social media, junk food, or binge-watching TV. It's easier, right? But here's the thing. By doing that, we're missing out on a golden opportunity to grow. Now here's the kicker. What if that discomfort is actually a compass, your inner GPS, if you will, that's pointing you toward what needs to change? Let's break it down. Discomfort is usually a sign that you're being stretched beyond your comfort zone, and that's where the magic happens. It's a signal that you're facing something new, something challenging, and something worth your attention. And yes, it's going to feel uncomfortable at first, but if you follow that discomfort, instead of running from it, you'll end up in a place you never thought you could reach. I remember a time when I was stuck in a job that drained the life out of me. Every morning I'd feel that pit in my stomach, the kind that made getting out of bed feel like a monumental task. It was uncomfortable, but instead of pushing it away, I started asking myself, why does this feel so wrong? What is this discomfort trying to tell me? Eventually, I realized that the job wasn't just draining my energy, it was draining my purpose. And that realization was uncomfortable in itself. But once I embraced that discomfort, I took action. I started looking for a new job, one that aligned with my values and passions. The discomfort led me to a place where I could truly thrive. This is about reclaiming your space, your peace, and your dignity. Discomfort isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign that you're alive, growing, and moving in the right direction. When you stop running from it and start using it as a compass, you're giving yourself permission to evolve, to become the best version of yourself. Don't back down when things feel tough. Lean into that discomfort and trust that it's showing you exactly where you need to go. Your space, your peace, and your dignity are found in the places that make you uncomfortable. So, the next time you feel that unease creeping in, instead of ignoring it, ask yourself, what's this discomfort trying to teach me? Follow the trail, and you might just find that the best version of yourself is waiting on the other side. Number 6. The what-if reality. Check. What if I told you that the most powerful tool to break free from indecision, doubt, and fear is one simple question? What if? Now, before you roll your eyes, hear me out. I know it sounds like something a self-help guru would say, but trust me, this isn't just some overused motivational trick. It's a game changer, and here's why. You know the type. You're standing at a crossroads, whether it's a big decision about your career, relationships, or even your daily routine. You start overthinking every possibility. What if it doesn't work out? What if you fail? What if everyone laughs at me? We've all been there, right? The fear of making the wrong choice can paralyze you, making it harder to take that first step. But here's where the what-if reality check comes in. Instead of asking the negative what-ifs that keep you stuck, flip the script. Ask yourself, what if I succeed? What if this choice leads to something incredible? What if I look back and realize that this was the moment my life changed? The reason this works is that it rewires your brain from a place of fear to one of possibility. It challenges the status quo of what could go wrong and pushes you to explore what could go right. I remember a time when I was faced with a huge decision. I had a chance to switch careers and go into video editing full-time, but I was terrified. I kept running through scenarios in my head, imagining all the ways I could fail. The fear was so loud, I almost didn't take the leap. But then I asked myself, what if this is exactly what I need? What if this is the opportunity that could change everything? That question shifted my perspective completely. I realized I wasn't afraid of failing. I was afraid of not trying at all. So I took the leap, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made. This is about reclaiming your peace, your confidence, and your potential. By asking, what if? You're no longer a victim of your circumstances. You're in control. You're taking the power away from the fear and putting it back in your hands. It's like flipping the switch from passive to active in your life. And trust me, that's an empowering feeling. So, the next time you find yourself stuck, ask yourself that one question. What if? What if this was the moment that changed everything? What if taking that risk paid off in ways you never imagined? Your peace, your confidence, and your courage are waiting on the other side of that question. Don't let fear dictate your choices. Use the what-if reality check and take control of your future. Number 7. Purpose through delayed gratification. What if I told you that the key to unlocking your true potential doesn't lie in immediate rewards, but in something much more powerful? Yes, I'm talking about delayed gratification. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds great in theory, but who actually wants to wait for success? Trust me, I get it. We live in a world where instant gratification is king, whether it's ordering food, scrolling through social media, or binge-watching shows. So, why would anyone choose to delay the good stuff? Well, let me explain. You know the type, always seeking the quick win, the fast reward. You set a goal, but after a few days of effort, the temptation to quit and grab something easy can feel almost irresistible. We've all been there, right? It's tough to stay focused on long-term goals when it feels like you're not seeing immediate results. You start thinking, maybe I'll just treat myself today. One little break won't hurt. But here's the thing, that's exactly where the power of delayed gratification comes in. It's about resisting the urge for quick wins to achieve something far greater down the road. I'll be honest, delayed gratification isn't the most fun strategy, but it works like magic. The beauty of it lies in its ability to keep you aligned with your bigger purpose. When you choose to wait for something that's truly worthwhile, whether it's finishing a big project, building a long-term habit, or making a major life change, the payoff is infinitely more satisfying. Psychologically, when you delay gratification, you train your mind to focus on what truly matters. You build resilience and strength because you learn how to withstand the discomfort that comes with the wait. I remember a time when I was in the thick of my internship. I was putting in hours of work, honing my video editing skills, and constantly battling the temptation to get sidetracked with easier, more fun tasks. One day, I was feeling particularly drained, questioning whether it was all worth it. But instead of giving in to my frustration, I reminded myself of my bigger goal, creating content that could inspire others. I decided to push through, even though the results were nowhere near immediate. Months later, that decision paid off. The recognition and opportunities I received were worth every second of delayed gratification. This isn't just about achieving success. It's about building the mental discipline to not let short-term pleasure derail long-term fulfillment. When you commit to delayed gratification, you reclaim your focus, your peace, and your sense of purpose. You stop letting distractions pull you away from your true goals. It's not about denying yourself everything. It's about making the right choices that lead to a bigger reward. In the end, delayed gratification isn't just a strategy, it's a mindset. It's about trusting that what's ahead of you is worth the wait. Your future self will thank you for it. So the next time you face the choice between a quick fix and a long-term gain, remember this: your space, your peace, and your purpose are all worth the wait. Embrace the discomfort, stay the course, and watch as your patience transforms into something extraordinary. Number 8. Purpose by radical action, not reflection. What if I told you that you don't need to spend hours reflecting on your purpose to actually find it? Yes, you heard me right. No long drawn-out journaling sessions or deep meditations required. The truth is, your purpose isn't found in endless thinking or searching for signs. It's found in doing. I know. You're probably thinking, but how can I know what to do if I don't reflect first? Trust me, I get it. We've all been told that the key to purpose is deep self-reflection and alignment. But what if I told you that sometimes the way forward is actually through radical action? You know the type, the people who sit around talking about their dreams, but never seem to get around to making them happen. We've all been there, right? We get stuck in the loop of planning, thinking, and hoping that the right moment will come. But what happens when that right moment never arrives? Well, You end up in the same spot, thinking and planning, but never doing. The thing is, action doesn't need to be perfect to move you closer to purpose. It just needs to be bold and in motion. Here's the twist. Purpose is discovered in the doing, not the thinking. You don't need to have it all figured out to take that first step. And that first step doesn't need to be a giant leap. It just needs to be forward. Radical action is about choosing to do something, anything, that aligns with your instincts and drives you in the right direction. It's about trusting that the journey will reveal itself once you commit to moving. Now, I know this might sound a little counterintuitive, maybe even reckless, but think about it this way. When you take action, you start learning, adapting, and experiencing things that lead you to real clarity. Reflection often comes after you've taken action, not before. Let me share a personal example. A few months ago, I had a project I was excited about, but felt paralyzed by the pressure of having it perfect before diving in. I spent weeks reflecting on every little detail, what software to use, how the content should be structured, how to make it stand out. I was deep in thought, trying to find the perfect path. But then I decided to stop thinking and just start. I recorded a rough draft, sent it out for feedback, and kept tweaking as I went. That one small action set everything in motion. The more I did, the clearer my purpose for that project became. I was no longer lost in endless thought. I was living it, learning as I went. This is where the power of radical action lies. It gives you the momentum you need to break free from the paralysis of overthinking. It's about reclaiming your energy, your time, and your sense of control. By taking action, you stop letting fear or doubt rule your decisions. You start trusting yourself and your ability to adjust along the way. This is about finding purpose through momentum, not contemplation. So the next time you feel lost or uncertain about your purpose, take one bold step forward. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be something. Remember, the journey doesn't start with a perfect plan. It starts with radical action. Take that first step, and the purpose will follow. You're stronger than you think, and you've got everything it takes to discover your purpose by simply moving forward. No more waiting for clarity to hit you like a lightning bolt. Trust in the power of doing, and you'll find your way. Your space, your peace, and your purpose are waiting for you to claim them. So, what are you waiting for? Go take that action. Number 9. The reverse priorities approach. What if I told you that your to-do list is probably sabotaging your success? Sounds crazy, right? We've all been there, juggling tasks left and right, checking off boxes, thinking that we're making progress. But let's be real for a second. Are you actually moving closer to your goals, or are you just filling time with busy work? Now, I know what you might be thinking, but I've got to stay productive, right? Yes, absolutely. But what if the real key to productivity isn't just about getting things done, but about making sure you're doing the right things? You know the type, the person who spends their day caught up in the small stuff, answering emails, fixing little problems, checking off tasks that, in the grand scheme of things, don't really matter. We've all done it. It feels good to check things off, right? It gives you a sense of accomplishment. But the truth is, these small tasks can distract you from the bigger picture. They're like putting a band-aid on a broken leg. They make you feel like you're solving something, but they're not actually fixing the root problem. Here's where the reverse priorities approach comes in. Imagine flipping your to-do list on its head. Instead of tackling the easy, small tasks first, you start with the big, uncomfortable, or complex ones that will actually move you toward your larger goals. It's about making your biggest priorities the first thing you tackle, and I know what you're probably thinking. That sounds overwhelming. But hear me out. The reason this works so well is because the bigger tasks often have the biggest impact, and if you leave them until last, you're just procrastinating your success. Tackling them early, frees you up to deal with the small stuff with a clearer mind and greater energy. Let me give you an example from my own life. A while back, I had a massive project due, a big presentation that would determine a lot of my future opportunities. Naturally, I started my day by answering emails and organizing files, small tasks that didn't really require much brainpower but made me feel productive. By the time I finally got to my big presentation, I was mentally drained and had little energy left for creativity. The presentation suffered. I realized that if I'd started with the big task, getting the presentation ready, the rest of the day would have been far more productive, and I would have finished everything with a sense of accomplishment, not exhaustion. This approach isn't just about efficiency, it's about reclaiming control of your time and energy. It's about getting rid of the illusion of productivity and getting down to what really matters. We all have that urge to fill our days with easy wins, but the real growth happens when we tackle the hard stuff first. This is about embracing the discomfort of big tasks and allowing yourself the freedom to excel once you've faced them head-on. When you start applying the reverse priorities approach, you'll notice an immediate shift in how you feel. You'll have more mental clarity, you'll feel more accomplished, and most importantly, you'll see real progress toward your bigger goals. It's about owning your time, your energy, and your goals. The small stuff will always be there, but your big, meaningful tasks are what will lead to real transformation. So, stop waiting for the right time to do the hard things. Make that your starting point, and watch how the rest of your day aligns with your true priorities. Your space, your peace, and your success are waiting for you right at the top of that to-do list. Go after it and make it count. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helped you see that finding your purpose doesn't have to be some far-off, unattainable goal. It's something you can actively shape every single day. If you found this valuable, don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps out, and it lets me know you want more content like this. If you're looking for more insights on how to live with purpose and create meaningful change, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss future videos. And hey, if you know someone who might benefit from this message, share it with them. Let's spread the word. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and share your experiences with finding or building your purpose. Let's get a conversation going and support each other in this journey. Remember, purpose isn't something you find, it's something you create every single day. Keep building, keep evolving, and keep living with intention. See you in the next video.